Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Real Talk in My Rooms. I'm your host, Amanda Kristy, and today I have two very special ladies. I have my host, Jess, who you've seen in the previous episode, and my wonderful friend, Katia.
Hi.
Katia, can you just tell everybody who you are? Introduce yourself.
Yes, of course. My name is Katia. I am the owner of Panier de Fleurs, a preserved floral business that I started a couple of years ago. And I am so excited to be on today's podcast. Me and Amanda go way back before I even started this business. So I'm very honored to be here today.
I'm so proud of Katia, just seeing her growth throughout the years. And I would love, if you're comfortable, for you to share your story from when you first came here. And
that's quite a story. I'm gonna try to keep it short.
Just briefly share like where, how it all, like how are you from here?
Sure thing. Well, as you can hear by my accent, no, I'm not really from here. But everyone always questioning where I'm from because apparently my accent sometimes is not recognizable. Anyway, I'm from Russia, Siberia. I moved here 13 years ago. I moved here 13 years ago.
It's Friday the 13th.
Ooh, 13.
Oh, yeah.
13.
Oh, numbers.
13's my number.
Numbers. That wasn't the plan. I would never in my life be able to move somewhere just across the globe. But I came here for summer. I worked, it was a J1 visa, and basically the whole purpose of it is work and travel. And when you go into college, you just want to travel, and you're like, you know what? I decided that I want to come to Jersey Shore. I worked as a busser in a restaurant, did not know what busser meant. That was fun times. My back hurt pretty much every day. But oh well. Summer was great, and at the end of it, I decided that I don't want to leave. I applied for my tourist visa. Eventually, I found a job, and I made my life here in 2012. And now, 12 years later, not 13, 12 years later, here I am, happy as ever be.
And you're married with a baby and a business. Like, she came here and look where you are now. I feel like in the 12 years, it's amazing.
Honestly, I don't really like to talk about myself, but to talk about myself. No, my journey was, I'm not going to talk all through 12 years, but I always had a fear of starting a business, like many of the people might be who is listening right now, like maybe of you girls, that it's just, I worked for everyone just to make my ends meet. I brought my paycheck and I never looked into doing any business or anything like that. And honestly, it took me a while to really think that what I want to do with my life, how do I want to live? And after working for different companies in, I think, 2020, I decided to take a leap of faith and starting my own.
Was there like a turning point that you could like remember, or something in your journey that made you feel like, I want to start a business?
Yes. We just literally talked about it a little bit before the podcast. The turning point was event I attended, and I'm gonna say it's a very influential person. He's a very big life coach. I attended the event, and I did not know anything about mindset work, coaching, like manifestation, like law of attraction. I was completely going there with desire to find answers. Because I always felt something was missing. Like every time, and I work for two big companies. They're actually both of them from Fortune 500. And I ended up feeling every time so drained despite the good income I was making. I always felt in the wrong place. That was a very big opening experience for me when I attended the event. And this coach started asking very powerful questions. And we know that answers always lie within. And that's when I realized that I did not want to work for anyone else. And I trusted myself, I trusted my intuition that I want to go on my own. So for anyone who is listening, I think you know the answers. Like they are inside of you. You just have to bring those questions into picture and being able to answer them honestly to yourself.
Absolutely. And how did that all tie into your business that you have right now? What made you want to do what you're doing today? And tell everybody, like, what is it? Tell everybody about your business.
It's exciting. I love it. Every time I talk about it, it just makes me feel complete. The business part. Well, I design preserved floral arrangements. Flowers are real. They cut at their peak when they grow, and we work with farms in Ecuador as well as Japan recently. And flowers are cut. They preserved in toxic-free glycerin solution, so that way they still stay fresh for years to come. From that point, once I get my flowers, I fully design my floral arrangements, and you guys can, take a look on our website. Eventually, we'll share at the end. There's different kinds and shapes, truly whatever your heart desires. But the coolest part about those arrangements that they don't need water or sunlight. They stay fresh for, like I said, over a year, and it's good gifting idea. It is great for interior design because we can truly customize all of the arrangements depending on your space. But kind of scroll back to your question, how did it start? It was COVID time. And I remember playing around with like handmade gifts. And I remember I saw one of the big companies was doing roses in a box. And I thought, wow, how cool. And then I saw price tag. I'm like, no way in the world I would ever buy this to any of my friends. It was just so outrageously expensive. And me, without knowing why it was expensive, now I do understand. Right. I started in my kitchen, kind of creating my little roses in a box, gifting them. And then people eventually started asking me on social media if they can purchase them, which was a funny thing because at that time I was doing life coaching business. I was not doing any flowers, like no way. But more people began to ask, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should add on to it. Maybe I should create things. And 6-7 months into it, after I tested the flowers, tested my suppliers, I launched the business without knowing what I was doing really, but came on great.
It did. And I remember seeing you, Katia was like posting on her stories, creating these, like she said, these cute little gifts. And I'm like, ooh, those are pretty. I remember I asked you.
You were literally,
I'm like,
one of my first customers. Like Amanda, she was always my biggest supporter. But honestly, I still remember people who started purchasing them, asking about them in the beginning because it's so crucial when you very not confident in what you do and you just kind of really posting things and you don't know what it's gonna take, and those people have the dearest place in my heart, so thank you.
It's so beautiful that you allowed yourself to kind of like pivot. You allowed yourself to listen to your intuition and follow the joy and what feels good. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong because society ingrains it in us that we have to work hard and we have to do this and we have to do that. And it's supposed to be this way. And they don't motivate us to listen to our creative self. And we all have a creative self within us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I cannot agree more with you. I really can, because we not just one person with one set of skills. We meant to evolve. We're meant to get into new things. We're meant to change our interests. Because when we're in college, we don't know, who you want to be? A doctor, economist? What do you want to be?
At 17 years old?
I know, and that's the thing. It's like they want you to know, I think isn't it 16? Because it's your
17 in Russia.
It is 17? Because in your junior year, they want you to start, and you're like, I feel like when you're 18, 19, 20, 21.
Then it's even earlier. Yes.
You're still learning, and I feel like a lot of these people are going away to college, and then they're switching, or they're not necessarily knowing what they want to do, because we have it all, you have to do this, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be have to, that we don't even think until. But I'm just glad that our generation has kind of stepped out of that.
Exactly.
We're opening it, and we're like, no, that this is. Yeah. This is not
I'm sure
what we have to do.
You learned in school something else completely different to what you're doing right now. Probably.
Oh, God. God, yeah. I was going to go to school for radiology.
I never even
economics.
thought, I never ever thought I'd be doing what I'm doing.
Never.
But I always knew, there was something big out there for me.
Yeah.
And so I always just, felt that. And this is so weird. And I've never shared this before.
Ooh.
But,
okay.
I know, when I was younger, I always loved watching music videos because when I watched them, I just saw so much life and opportunity. Yes. And so I always had this fantasy and desire to do something like that, be super big. So like shout out to music videos, because I don't know, for me, that was like, that just gave me kind of like inspo.
Yes.
Like those are the people that I would like see. I don't know if you guys remember JoJo.
Yes.
Like seeing her at such a young age. I believe she's from Jersey too, or like right outside Jersey.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Or it's like Philly, something super close to us, and just seeing how girls like at our age were able to do what they want and like live out their dreams. I'm like,
why can't I?
Yeah.
Why can't I do it?
Because at our age, when we were younger, we didn't have social media. We didn't have these empowering boss babes like cheering us on, motivating us.
Yeah.
We had music videos and caller ID.
I completely agree, because think how our life would be different if we were born 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and forward. Because even right now, I see some of my friends and their children, when they go to school, I guess, they have this little board thing, and they write, I'm 3.5 years old, I'm 5 years old, and they put their interest and who you want to be. I keep seeing it all the time. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a golf coach. I want to be a photographer.
Oh, I love that.
I love those.
Not actually, I want to save the world, or just nothing wrong with being a doctor. That's great. I want to be a doctor. But I like that children think outside of the box.
I didn't know, and I'm so glad you said that, because
I keep paying attention to take a look.
That's amazing. Because like you said, every time it was doctor, a vet.
Yes.
You know, like the
and again,
there's nothing wrong. We need that.
But think outside of the box.
Yes.
What else?
And I think it's so important for the people our age to be supportive of their children like that. Because when we, like, kids, what I believe, children are the closest to source, higher power, God, whatever, like, you believe in. I believe that they're the closest to it, and their natural state is joy, and they're so pure.
Yeah.
So anything that they love, if they just continue to follow that, and if you're a mother and or a father, and you just really support your child in whatever it is they love, even if they love coloring, like getting them that coloring book for Christmas or whatever you celebrate to support them, like imagine where they're going to go if they have nothing but support for what they love and desire.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of your mom, how is it being a mom and a business owner? Because having a business is a baby. So you essentially have...
You have two.
Yeah, I guess. I honestly had no idea how it's going to be like even a year ago. Now I can talk from experience. The funny thing, I was actually driving here and I was thinking about something. So thank you for the question. When I was opening my studio for the flowers and I found out that I was pregnant, I kept thinking, I was like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like, I'll bring the baby with me. I can still make arrangements. She can just play somewhere in the corner. And honestly, you have no idea until you become a mother that it needs 24/7 of your constant attention. You can't put your child the first year of their life in a corner because they're just not going to play and entertain themselves. And I remember how I was just thinking, like, it's going to be so easy, just mom and business. But anyway, how being mom in the business, it's great, but there is some things need to go and that some things you have to give up, I would say. But only meanwhile. Doesn't mean you have to give up on your full dream, on your full business, like the way you want it. Like, right before I gave a birth, like the pregnancy before, I want to press like all the speed and go on and just create all the content and make all the arrangements and outreach to my customers and work on events, do. And then you become mom, you're like, wait, she's going to grow up once. And then what?
Right.
This is always going to be there. You can have it all. You can't have it at the same time. There is an option, of course, there is, a help that could be, for moms and stuff. For me right now, I'm choosing to spend as much time as I can for first year in life, which means I have to at certain times slow down the business. I have to outsource many tasks, including even like food delivery, cleaning, cooking, like many things which I can possibly outsource so I can focus on being mom and my business is definitely crucial.
And it gives you your time back. And I love that you said that it's for now. Because I feel like sometimes people tend to think like, oh, I have to stop, so I guess I'm done for good.
Yes.
Versus, no, it's just for now. And like you're choosing to spend time with your daughter and watching her grow up, and you're still doing great with your business, but you're like, I might not be able to do X, Y, and Z.
Yes, not as fast as you want. Yes, not as fast as you want, but you're still doing things.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to give up. If you're truly passionate about it, why? Like, just, have it all.
So How is it going with, you went from life coaching, right? Mm-hmm. Are you still doing life coaching?
I did not. I did it in 2020, 2021, and then I fully transitioned to flower business because I can't be unhappy. It took upon fully, so I had to pick and choose. Yes.
Now, do you feel like what you have learned from being a coach,
for sure,
has that helped you now in business?
100%. Even transition, because before becoming life coaching, in the life coaching field, I wouldn't allow myself to transition. There's no way. Like, no. I selected this. I have to do this. Like, what am I doing? Giving up? No. Let's follow your heart. Let's answer the questions. Let's follow intuition. What is it you want to do? And for me, definitely life coaching, it's the way you talk, the way you listen to others. You know that.
Yeah.
And you do know that. It's the way you talk and listen. And very often we talk, but we don't listen one another, because everything just kind of goes, but people don't ask follow-up questions. They don't fully hear things. So yes, of course, when I'm talking to my clients, understanding their needs, hearing what they want, and just overall in life, not just even in business, it's such big bonus.
Absolutely.
And I love that you shared that, because I feel like I love that you shared that part of your story, how like, because you did career A, it supported career B, because I feel like there are people in the world who feel like, oh, I can't go into the next one because it's totally different. Why would I do that? Was it a waste? Was that a waste? No, even if you can't see the lesson right now, the lesson is going to come.
Absolutely.
I, like you saying this, I'm like, and I remember how scared I was for not a long time, but a little bit, because it's like, how do I go from this to this, but I'm really, really passionate about this and I really want to do this. You have to allow yourself to go with the flow.
Yeah.
And right now I'm fully enjoying flowers. I'm fully doing this and it's great. I love it. I'm not going to stop myself 5 years from now, 7, 10 year. If I'm really into interior design and I'm really passionate about it, why not?
Why not?
Just go with the flow. Just feel it. Enjoy what you're doing right now. Create the business. But it's okay to outsource. It's okay to change. It's okay to open something else. It's all okay. Like, it's
okay.
Trust yourself.
And love is literally the highest frequency in the world.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Anything that's backed by love, anything's possible. You make a baby with love. Creation is with love. If you love, and I remember like learning this from my grandpa, it's like, as long as you love it, you're going to be successful at it.
Yes.
You can start a business with anything. As long as it's backed by love, you're going to be successful, like, in it.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. And it comes with, there is a lot of work and hard work that gets put into it, but when you love what you do, you're living your life. Like, there's no better feeling than waking up every day and knowing, like, I get to come here and work with people I love, and it's such a difference than going to like a job, like you said, you're working for somebody, getting the paycheck, getting the money, and yeah, great, I'm happy, I have money, I can pay my bills, but are you really happy?
Yeah.
Like, are you fulfilled? Do you feel that? Because when you worked at one of the big companies that you worked at before you started life coaching and everything, did you feel that? Did you feel happy?
Absolutely.
Did you feel like when you went home, you're like,
Oh,
yes.
that's when I actually saw, I want to touch upon this topic. I think it's very important to talk about it. When I was working at that company, that's very first time in my life I realized, wow, I'm developing depression. Like a real kind, without being like, no, it's symptoms. No, it was full on blown, when you can't make decision, when you just kind of stay in the bed, you don't want to do anything your days off. Joyful activity is no longer joyful, because that job, and it's not like it was a bad job, it wasn't. It was good money, it was normal job, there was nothing like wrong with it. But because it was taking all of my time, I was salaried, it was 50 plus hours minimum, I felt that I did not have any time for myself, for anything I was passionate about. And that drained me to the extent where I had to like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? That's when I went to events. That's when I started looking into mental health. And I realized, hold on, but like, what's happening? Like, why am I feeling this way? Because I always thought money will solve the problem. I always thought. I came from Russia. My family didn't have crazy amounts of money, so I always wanted to achieve things. And then you realize, wait, but this is not. I don't want another bag. I don't want another thing. I don't want any of this. I just want time back. I want to enjoy my life. I want to hang out with my friends, attend events, not to work all the time, not to be stressed all the time. And that's when, I had to really face the struggle and change something.
And you felt, and I love that you took that time to put into your mental health.
Yes.
And you went and you looked outside of the box and you fell upon.
Thank you.
And I feel like so many people these days normalize how do I say this? I feel like a lot of people promote that us having mental health issues is normal. And I want to like talk into that. Yes, we all have our mental health things, but it's not normal to stay in that.
Yes.
It's it's because of my mental health. I'm just so depressed and I'm never going to get out of it. No, you're choosing to stay in it, first of all, and you can choose to get out of it. But I feel like there's people that are normalizing. It's normal to stay in those
because
low
it's
states.
Safer and more comfortable to stay in the known than go into the unknown. And the reason they don't go into unknown, they didn't get enough knowledge.
Yeah.
They didn't get enough ideas, because you can plan everything. You can literally find out who you want to be, study those famous people, or not even famous people, just who you want to be, what do you want to do, study, observe, learn what they do, how they do it. Then it's not that scary. Just stop finding excuses for yourself, really.
Yes, that's true.
I kind of want to rewind a little bit, because I had a really good question that came through for the both of you. We were talking about how anything that's backed by love, you're going to be successful at, and you guys seem to both agree. Is that correct?
Yes.
So sure. I would love for both of you ladies to define what does your version of success mean.
Happy. For me, it's happiness.
Happiness.
Genuine happiness. I want to, success, again, yes, the money, the house, some people want all that. But for me, it's am I happy? When my head hits the pillow at the end of the day, was today a great day? Did I make a positive impact in someone's life? Just the happiness, being successful to me is happy, that happy feeling.
I love it. What success means, I think, because actually I'm reading this book right now too. It's a new version of success, which I fully I just want to add to yours, because it would be very much similar answer. I think it's when you are the person on the inside, same as you outside.
Oh, so good.
When you do good things when no one is watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you feel good about yourself. You did wonderful things. No one was around. You did it for yourself. And now you live with it. And that's what builds us up. And that's what creates the energy. So success, of course, that's many things. But it's definitely your thoughts. What do you think about yourself and others? And the time. Yeah. How do you spend your time? I think time is the biggest currency. Not the money, it's the time.
It is. It's so true.
And how you spend it. So, yeah, I think that would be my version.
And now you tell us.
So my version of success is loving everything I do and feeling really good about it. And like you said, feeling really happy about everything that I do. And I used to think success was monetary. I thought it was a number. I was oh yeah, I have a successful this, a successful that. No, you can have a successful business even if you're not a billionaire. You can still feel successful. And it's a feeling. So, to my opinion, I feel that success is very subjective. And it's a feeling. And when you start to feel successful, you start vibrating at a certain frequency. And you start attracting more successful, like-minded energies in your life.
Absolutely. And it's so funny. Notice how we all said happiness. And I feel that is such a big thing now. It's there's so many people out there who it's sad. They're not happy. And, but on the other side, there are so many people who are now awakening and we're all putting that energy out there. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel there's been shifts with just in life with everybody being more knowledgeable about what is going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I really also do feel called to share that we, us three sitting here are genuinely happy on the inside and out. And I can only speak for myself. I'm curious if you ladies agree. One of the reasons how I got here was being vulnerable and not wearing the happiness mask and pretending like I was happy and allowing other people to see me in my shit and like to see me in my hard times. Because I feel like there's a lot of people that wear the happy mask and then when the camera's off or the people aren't looking, they're not happy.
Yes.
And how good does it feel
to actually be
happy. Not pretend,
to be authentically who you are on off camera?
It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work, and people, some don't want to do it, some don't know how to do it.
Right, because it's not easy. You got to feel your emotions, and they don't really teach us how to do that. But I promise it's so effing worth it.
Well, it's uncomfortable and it's scary. Like you said, when things aren't easy or scary, people don't want to.
Well, if you think how, I'm not going to get political, but if you think what they teach us from young age, follow the rules, be afraid, follow the lead.
And I don't think that's
those
political.
I think teach you listen to yourself.
Yeah.
No, you've been taught what to do, where to work, how
follow the leader.
Follow, like,
not to show your emotions. Don't cry. Men, if you cry,
don't cry. It's okay. No, cry.
Yeah,
feel it exactly. So of course,
right.
What do we expect?
But the change now, it's like that's the beautiful thing is that it all starts with you, right?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna make a difference in your daughter's life. Your daughter's gonna grow up and she's gonna take on because you did the work. You went in and you did the work. It's like breaking those, like they say, generational traumas, but it's true. It's like you go in and you break that because
that's a whole nother podcast topic.
Well, we definitely
that was a good one.
I feel the tears coming.
I mean, I feel like so the podcast is wrapping to an end, and I do have a question that I want to ask you, but we will definitely have you on again, and we will go into that because Katia is just. I feel like we could sit and talk for hours and just.
I know, as we already have.
I was like,
I don't want this to end. I have so much to share and so much to talk.
It's so good.
I know, and the time just I feel like goes like this. It flies, but we will definitely have you on again because we have so much more to talk about. But if tomorrow was, or not even tomorrow, if today was the last day on Earth for you. And you can pass on to anybody, like to everybody. You can everything that you've ever posted, you've shared, got wiped away. Nothing that like you had put out there was able to be found, except for these 3 things. What 3 things, pieces of advice, quotes, tips? What would you pass along, and what would you want people to remember? Whether it's saying it to your daughter, you're just telling the world. What are 3 things, pieces of advice that you would?
Oh my God, give? That's a hard question. Sorry. Oh my God, 3 things.
3 things.
Okay. I would say first one. If you don't know what to do, really, just ask yourself a question: what love would do? Because coming from a place of love really changes perspective and like many like we're able to actually act in alignment with who we're meant to be.
I love that.
Oh my God, today's the last day. Holy cow, I have to. Okay.
She's so cute. She's like, I have so much to have to say.
I just had to process that. I was like, oh yeah, the question.
You're like, where are we going? The last day for what?
I don't think I have a third one. I definitely have a second one.
Oh, you have a third one.
That's a very hard question, Amanda. Like, you totally got me. You can create the life you want by doing really one important thing. There's so many people say there's one important thing. By paying attention to your thoughts, by consciously paying attention, what are you thinking, how does it make it feel, and removing those thoughts will create the biggest difference in your life. The third one.
So good.
Oh, this will be for moms, actually. I think it's so important that every human journey starts with their mother. And we as women have ultimate power to create new level of life there ever been by just listening our children and acting their best interests. So this will be definitely for all the women who are already moms, or maybe not moms actually, so I should have maybe clarified that. You create that child mind from absolute scratch. It's a blank list, and you can create the most beautiful thing in the world. You can raise the best human out there. I'm going to say best, of course, best for you, because we're all best, we're all humans. And that would result in the best life and the kindness, the love, things we didn't see before. Because generational trauma does start with our parents.
Yes.
And we carry it on. So it starts with us.
It starts with us. I love that.
That was a lot of
I love that.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to touch more on the generational trauma
For sure.
on the next episode. But Jess, thank you for being such a great co-host today. Katia, thank you for coming
having me.
on.
Thank you for having
taking
me.
time out of your busy day, because she's a mom again.
Oh, stop.
Her
I would have
business,
come
and
anyway.
she still took time to come out. So thank you for coming out. Where can everybody find you? Where can they connect with you? Where can they shop with you? Tell everybody all the information.
Well, my personal account is Katia Palmiotto on Instagram. And my business account is Panier de Fleurs. We'll probably have to put in the description.
Oh, we're going to put it all in the description.
It stands for flower card, so it's not just, words you don't know. It stands for flower card. And yeah, if anyone has questions about the podcast episode, obviously DM me in my personal page or the business page, as a matter of fact. And thank you so much.
And you
for
ship
having me.
worldwide, right? Or nationwide,
yes,
worldwide?
Yes, we ship worldwide, nationwide. We ship to different countries as well. And we really focusing right now on custom arrangements for hotels. Actually, we've been working with a couple hotels right now, which is exciting.
That is so
We
exciting.
do work with regular customers, of course, with regular people who want to make their home nice and beautiful with our arrangements. But we do create everything custom. So yes, if you're interested, definitely check out our website and email us or message us.
Yes, and thank you guys for listening to another episode of Real Talk in My Rooms. Remember to chase what you love and live every single day your best. And we'll catch you next time here on Real Talk in My Rooms.
Bye.